Lincolnshire County Council has voted to call on the government to hold a referendum on whether Britain should leave the European Union. It's one of the first moves of its kind by a local council. The leader of the Conservative-run authority, Martin Hill, says continuing uncertainty about the issue is damaging. We'll hear from him in a moment, but first Crispin Rolfe has been getting reaction in the county.
A Prime Minister under pressure over Britain's EU membership. This time not from MPs, but from Lincolnshire County Council.
We brought a motion purely because of the experience we've had from talking to members of the public, businesses and farmers. The suggestion being that it was time that we went for a referendum on Europe.
So does Lincolnshire benefit from being in the EU?
There's got to be a referendum to be able to get an answer to it. So as far as I'm concerned, I want to be out.
Once upon a time I was all for it. Let us say that I'm now a lot less for it.
I do think David Cameron raised some very important points at the last meeting, monetary meeting, about waste of money.
Eurosceptics argue that in 2011 the UK contributed £15.4 billion to the EU budget and only got £7.1 billion in return. However, Lincolnshire's received over £23 million from the EU during the current funding period to stimulate its economy. And Lincolnshire farmers receive £142 million each year from EU grants.
One of our sort of key problems with this is ultimately if all our trading partners, i.e. in Europe, have got one system and we've got something completely different, is there going to be fair trade for us?
Route to recruitment, David speaking.
And if the vote was up to these two businesses in Louth, then Britain would also stay put. The building they share, built by EU money.
The European money is actually providing something that local government isn't. I mean, we actually started as the result of a management buyout and we've got European funding to actually help set up the business. And meanwhile, you know, the government say that they're getting the banks to lend money, but we actually have trouble with the banks.
Today's vote will see the leader of Lincolnshire County Council, Martin Hill, writing to the Prime Minister, calling for an EU referendum on Britain's membership, and one significantly before the next general election. Downing Street in turn has said it will only comment once it's read the letter.
Crispin Rolfe with that report. Joining me now is the leader of Lincolnshire County Council, Martin Hill. Mr Hill, good evening to you.
Good evening,
would you be happier to see us out of the EU? Would it be good for the UK, good for Lincolnshire?
Well, I think all we're asking for is, and what we're saying, there does need to be a referendum now, I think, because I think one of the most damaging things is the uncertainty. Are we fully in, or are we fully out? And I think if we had a referendum, I think it would be decided one way or the other. And today at the Council actually was cross-party view that even those who are for the EU membership probably feel that it needs to be resolved so we can, the Prime Minister can negotiate with some confidence about the following the outcome.
Do you think this is what the council taxpayers of Lincolnshire want you to spend your time on? I mean, shouldn't you be worrying about schools in the county and the bins or something?
We are. Well, we don't do bins, but we are certainly spending a lot of time looking at the Lincolnshire economy, and I don't think actually having an hour's debate and me writing a letter maybe for half an hour is too onerous a duty. And I think we also have a duty to represent the people who elect us, and I'm very keen to do that.
OK,
so
farmers in the county receive more than £140 million a year in subsidies. There's also been £23 million in the last 5 years to help businesses. I mean, if you got your way and we came out, that money would go, wouldn't it?
Yes, but we'd also lose all the contribution, and as has just been stated, we pay twice as much in as we receive, and we'd also, if we came out, and I'm not saying we should do that, we'd lose all those regulations and all the rest of it, which we all grumble about.
The farmers, like the farmers, like the one we spoke to, said they need EU money to survive.
Well, I think, as I've said before, I think because we've got a world population approaching 10 billion, I think the future for agriculture and the farming industry in Lincolnshire is quite good, no matter what system we're in, because there are going to be a lot of people who need feeding, and I think agricultural land and agricultural production will be very much at a premium.
Very briefly, if there was a referendum tomorrow, how would the country vote?
Well, I don't know. It depends what the question was. I think
if it's in or out?
Well, I don't know. I think at the moment it's very evenly balanced.
OK, very good to talk to you, Mr Hill. Thank you very much indeed. I'm sure this is one that you'll have a view on. Do you think it'd be better if we left the EU?